in the studio, a very special guest. You know her. We've talked to her several times. Melanie Hooyenga, local author. Hi, Melanie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Are there any songs? We just heard Sarah. Are there any Melanie songs? You know, Melanie?
So when I was in high school, I convinced somebody that the song I'm in the Mood for a Melody was actually Melanie. So that's not actually that name. Ironically, though, the book I'm here to talk about, the character's name is Melody, one of the characters.
Melody. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's clever, though. See, now we know why you're a writer. If you even back then, you could kind of persuade somebody with your words.
Exactly.
All right. So tomorrow, first of all, the book is called Chasing the Stars.
Yes.
You have a reading tomorrow, Bookman, and a signing?
So I'll be at the Bookman from 5:30 to 7. I'll be doing a reading about 6 o'clock, but the rest of it is kind of like an open house format. You don't have to come and stay for the whole thing. Okay. But like I said, we'll do a reading, have a Q&A, so if people want to ask me anything, but you don't have to do it when the group is there. You can also I'll be at a table and you can come say hi. And ideally, buy a book and I'll sign it.
We've been promised cookies from your husband, Jeremy, too.
He makes fabulous chocolate chip cookies.
And there's a secret. Do you want to give that secret? Or is he like really...
They are not the most sodium friendly cookies, but he throws some salt down before he puts the chocolate chip cookies down. And, it's just amazing. That
sweet and salty thing? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And they're free if you come to the book.
So load up on Jeremy's cookies.
Yes.
And I always, whenever we bring up Jeremy, of course, I have to bring up that I used to work with him at Enterprise Car Rental, which is a totally... weird.
Hilarious.
It's a small world thing that we ran into each other through you again. So
and now he's running the main streets.
Now he's running downtown the main street. So and I always see Jeremy walking everywhere like he's on a purpose. He's on a mission. He's just always got something going on. And he's walking quickly there and. So that's a good thing.
With his man bun.
With his, I was going to bring that up. But
well, they all call him that. So
with hey man bun.
Yes.
All right. Now, on another note, and I this is the first time you and I have had a chat on the air about this. Owen, your wonderful dog, Super Owen. He sadly passed away. He crossed the Rainbow Bridge earlier this year.
The end of June.
Yeah, and I know that had to be very tough.
It was, and what was crazy is we've mentioned it. When I've been on here, is it was 13.6 thousand followers on Instagram. It's kind of still hovering at that. And, when losing a pet is hard for anybody, obviously, as everyone knows who's gone through that. But then we had this outpouring from the internet, which was just amazing.
Aww.
And, I've become friends with a lot of people on there, but we had people sending drawings and wool stitches, and someone made us a little felt 3-inch dog, and they sent me a bracelet. Someone made a photo album,
wow.
I know it shouldn't be. It's not about getting things, but just this outpouring of people realizing, this character that I basically created, because that's what that was. It was a writing exercise. My dog wasn't actually drafting these posts as much as he liked to say that he was.
He was very smart, though. Yeah.
That it affected so many people from all over the world was really quite powerful. So.
And how old was Owen when he
was 12.
12. So, he had a great dog life. Great dog life with you and Jeremy. And but there's some news on the other side of this, too.
Yeah, we put a deposit down for a puppy. And
Yay.
I know we're not adopting, and I'm sorry, but we want a certain breed. And so we've researched breeders and, a very friendly, it's a family. And they're very open about everything they do. So we're hopefully by the end of the year.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Keep us updated on that.
I will.
Once again, Melanie Hooyenga, local author, talking to us on the Best Financial Credit Union guest mic, too, by the way, because they're a studio sponsor. All right, the new book is Chasing the Stars.
Yes.
And is this a standalone? Is this a series?
It's the second in a series, but it can stand alone.
Okay.
So the main, I did this with my last series too, where the main characters in this book were minor characters in the first book. So It's the Campfire series, which is about different groups of kids all going camping and little shenanigans that they get up to. So Chasing the Sun, Naomi was the best friend of the main character, and now she's the lead character, as well as this boy Hunter, who is the love interest.
And by the way, Melanie, your writing style is for... Teens, young adults.
Really, and young adult is categorized that way because it's written for a teenage audience. So the characters are typically that age, and it's dealing with typical teenage or atypical teenage situations. Right. Doesn't mean you have to be a teenager to read it, but that's something, a lot of times people will read it and say, oh, they're so annoying. This child is doing this. Like, they're 16. Like, that's what they do.
That's what they're meant to do when they're 16.
I love reading that, but some people get frustrated because they're more accustomed to reading something written for an adult audience. It's the same thing as watching a TV show intended for a younger audience may not have the content that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But.
And you are a very prolific author, by the way.
I try to be.
And I've always admired this too. You are on a schedule, a writing schedule. Yeah. Which, I always kind of thought, I'm going to be a writer someday. And I never, ever would have the patience. I just realized, nope, I don't have the patience to sit down and do that. So I just decided to talk in the radio. But you set up time every day to make sure you write, whatever it is you're writing. Right. So how does that work?
So I write every morning, before work. Now, I always give the caveat that I don't have children of my own, which definitely carves out extra time in my schedule that not everybody has. So I'm amazed by people who have kids and manage to find time to write and
to do
publish
anything.
And everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, wow.
School them during COVID, all of these things. But I write in the morning. And for me, the harder part is editing. So I like the first draft and where all the ideas are coming out. I outline, so I kind of know where I want to go with the story. But having to go through and improve on things and move things around and figure that's just torture for me. But it's all part of the process. So.
Are most authors their own editor?
Everybody does a level of self-editing, I think, before you get to the next round, depending on where you are in your career. Like if you have an agent, sometimes they just get the next draft and you work with your agent.
Yeah.
I do it on my own, so I do have other people who read for me and help me with that sort of thing.
Okay.
But you shouldn't be the only person because you're never going to catch your own mistakes.
And you got to have an objective kind of look at things too.
Right.
Because I'm sure you got to be on a certain level protective of your characters and if you're writing, and some things you might not want to see, but other people just kind of point that out to you, or
Well, and I had an example at the end of my book. Everybody kept dinging this one line, and they thought I was referring to the wrong person, and so while I knew the correction they were giving me wasn't the right correction, it clearly was a problem because everybody questioned it. So it's up to me to say, okay, how do I make work what I'm trying to say? And I just rewrote the line, and it was fine. But, the person's suggestion may not be the right thing, but if that many people are tripping up on the same thing,
it did open your eyes. Yes, and you changed it, which is awesome. Yeah. All right, so your book now, Chasing the Stars, is available?
Yes, it's out today. I'm very excited.
Oh, and normal outlets like...
Yeah, so it's on all the online booksellers, Amazon, Apple, Google, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and then you can get it print in Amazon and also at the Bookman in Grand Haven. So
and I've always been that old school kind of guy. Like I like to hold a book in my hands, but some people love the tablet thing. And
I did hear there's going to be a book shortage at the end of the year.
Oh, because
supply chain
paper
issues. Yes. So buy it now.
And you'll have it. And you'll have it. Buy it now for Christmas.
Buy all the books now.
Yeah, if you even save it for a Christmas gift, even.
Yes, even if it's not mine.
Then I know but you are so prolific, you might have another book out by Christmas.
Sure. No.
Not quite there. If you're going to see the look on her face, she's like, "What are you kidding me? Give me a break." All right. So here we go. We're going to have a reading now.
Yes.
From your new book, Chasing the Stars.
Yeah. So just 2 pages. So normally I read from the beginning, and I decided not to because I just don't want to. So I'm going to read from the beginning of chapter 5. The premise is it's 2 families coming together to go camping at a dark park, which is where you can see the stars really clearly because there's no man-made light nearby.
Yes.
And so you're getting to know the 2 families leading up to this point, and this is when they're just about there. And so we're talking about that.
Okay.
So this is from Naomi's perspective. Theo, stop. I elbow him to the back seat, away from the dashboard. In the 5 hours we've been in the car, he's hijacked the music no less than a dozen times. It's not that our musical tastes are different, it's just that I prefer to be in control. You're in charge of the music when it's your turn to drive. Mom sighs from the passenger seat. I thought you 2 outgrew this. I did. He didn't. Theo knees the back of my seat in response. Moments like these make me think it won't be so bad to go away to school, but no matter how frustrating he can be, I will always adore my brother. We're almost always in sync, and it's rare that we don't know what the other is thinking, which is why it's so unsettling that he keeps avoiding talking about the future, and why it's killing me to keep the offer a secret. I mentally fire questions at him, urging him to share his thoughts, but he's staring out the window. As the miles slip by, my mind wanders to the email thread. Everyone dutifully answered their questions, and as much as I hate to admit it, I feel like I know Hunter and Melody enough that it won't be completely awkward when we meet in person. Since I haven't seen a picture of Melody, she's a faceless yet insightful 7th grader who seems like she's ready for an adventure, but Hunter's thoughtful reply combined with that smirk from his picture has my insides doing backflips. It's not that he said anything particularly profound, but his outlook feels refreshing after being surrounded by guys who are more focused on being kings of the school than, educating themselves so they can be productive members of society. My eyes roll at myself. If Theo could hear my thoughts, I'd never hear the end of it. His head pokes between the front seats. What you thinking? How do you do that? After almost 18 years, why do you still question my powers? It's creepy. especially since my ability seems to be lacking. He presses the side of his head against my shoulder and whispers, I saw you roll your eyes, so what you rolling about? Your answers to the vacation homework. He gasps in fake horror. A little over the top, don't you think? That's kind of my brand. But iambic pentameter? You wrote your answers in iambic pentameter. Mom snorts and quickly covers her mouth with her hand. I wasn't going to say anything. Mom said Hunter's studying to be an editor or something. I didn't want him to think he's sharing a tent with a caveman. You definitely accomplished that. You're just jealous you didn't think of it first. A sigh escapes me, and I admit, maybe. Because while I firmly believe in not making an idiot of yourself to impress the person you like, not that I'm saying I like Hunter because, hello, I don't even know him, but amplifying aspects of your personality are completely within reason. Not that I'm good at poetry, but I could have put a little more effort into my answers so I didn't come off so bright and shiny. Theo pokes my shoulder. Quit stressing. Your answers were 100% representative of you. Thanks. Kids, this was supposed to be a fun way to get to know each other, Mom says. No one will make their final judgment on your character based on this. Okay, whatever, I whisper. But I don't believe her, because I've made assumptions about Hunter based on his reply. When we switch drivers somewhere in Idaho, I snuggle into the back seat and reread Hunter's email. And that's all I'm going to share with you. Well, I don't want to start reading the email because then it gets long. And it's
that's one thing I always worried about when I'm dating somebody new is that I'm going to come off like an idiot. Mm-hmm. I think we all think
it actually doesn't say idiot. It's a swear word. And I realized I shouldn't say that on there.
We got the gist of it all, though.
I literally put a little sticky note. So
Melanie Hooyenga from Chasing the Stars. Once again, tomorrow at the Book Bin. What time?
5:30 to 7.
5:30 to 7. Buy a book. She'll sign it for you.
And you can have a cookie.
Jeremy's Cookies. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, by the way, as being a guest now on the John Roberts Afternoon Show, I have this lovely Culver's pint container, but inside the pint container is a $20 gift card to Culver's, courtesy of Gracious Grounds.
Well, that's exciting.
Because I won their gift basket at the Chamber Early Bird Breakfast on Friday, and I said I will re-gift everything that's in that gift basket. So there you go.
Thank you very much. And I just have to tell you, John was laughing while I was reading, and I love that.
Well, yeah, because that's your writing style. And you always read it very well. So that's just like tomorrow at the Bookman. Thank you, Melanie, for brightening our day
with
your presence and your new book, Chasing the Stars. Yep.